So Memorial Day weekend has come and gone, and that of course means that we have seen the Indy 500. Now this year, the 91st running of the race was another spectacular addition to the race's illustrious history. Okay, it's not true. But really by no fault of its own. I mean, the race actually had a lot of potential to be good. There were a few stories worth following, and it started off well with the kind of like the battle of the Brazilians up front with Helio and Tony Kanaan going at it for the lead early in the race. But unfortunately, Mother Nature decided to not cooperate, and they sort of rained on their parade. Which sort of ruined the race for some people. We had a rain delay with, I think, a little over 100 laps in the books, and that meant that a lot of people left the speedway. A lot of people stopped watching on television, and the race did eventually get restarted to once again just be stopped, this time for good because of rain. They were actually running under caution because of an accident with Marco Andretti and Dan Weldon, and Dario Franchitti was in the lead at the time, and so while they're circulating around waiting for the accident to get cleared up, rain started falling, and Dario, leading the race, of course, just wanted the heavens to open because he knew that that would end it and make him Indy 500 champion. And actually, when he first started feeling the rain, he got on his radio and started saying this to his crew.
Raindrops are falling on my head.
Which, you know, makes sense because they were. And anyway, I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny that he decided to sing the song over the radio. But, so they did decide that the rain was too heavy, it was not going to stop, and thus the race would have to be finished. But no one wants it to end under caution like that, and, you know, especially everybody except Dario, and especially the guy in second place, Scott Dixon. I mean, he was in such denial. When he saw them waving the checkered flag, he was just screaming in his helmet. But sadly, Scott, it was. It is. And it's in the books. He came second place, a little bit disgruntled with that. Now, as we mentioned before, they were under caution before the rain actually started to fly because of an accident with Marco Andretti and Dan Weldon. And, you know, Marco kind of like accidentally drove into Dan on the straightaway, and it spun him into the wall, and then he spun around and then flipped over, and then kept spinning around and around. And he actually confronted Dan after the race, and he said to him, "You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round." Oh, yeah, it stopped. Which wasn't entirely fair because it wasn't exactly Dan's fault that he got driven into. It was sort of a racing incident, but hey, these things happen. Then Dan was so upset by the fact that Marco was accusing him of something here, we actually saw Dan leaving the parking lot in the infield where all the drivers parked their cars, and he'd actually just been hanging around Marco's car, and we said, "Dan, what did you just do?" And Dan just said, "I dug my key into the side of this pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive, carved my name into his leather seat." Dan, come on, man. How childish is that? That's not what you're supposed to do. It was a racing incident. Oh, man. That was just not a pretty scene at all. Either way, they actually interviewed Al Jr. after the race and said, "Look, Al, obviously you've retired full-time from racing, but you still come out every May to take a shot at the Indianapolis 500. Tell us, when are you going to hang up the helmet for good? When is your career over?"
It ends tonight. It ends tonight.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. From the horse's mouth, you may very well have just seen the last race of Al Jr. Now, there's just one thing I also want to touch on quickly. I have a mother, as most of us do, and I know that when a mother's at a racetrack, they can get very excited because their child's racing, and they sometimes get over-emotional and do big things. Mom, I love you. But at this particular race, Danica Patrick's mom was there, and she's, you know, kind of known through the paddock because they often show her on TV, because frankly she makes good TV. And this is not, I'm not criticizing or insulting or anything, it was funny to watch because for the first rain delay, Danica was running in third. And so, you know, her daughter's running third in the Indianapolis 500, and you start seeing Danica's mom, you know, the camera's on her, and she's really like, and it's like, it's really dramatic, but it's really funny, you know, and the director did a good job of staying on her and catching the emotion, but I couldn't help but get the feeling that it might have been like a tiny bit forced, like she knew the camera was on her, and then kind of acted it up a bit. It was kind of like this. It was kind of like, well, yeah, she's running third right now. Is that a camera? Is that a camera? Oh, honey, be careful. What's gonna happen with the race? Oh, she's in third. I don't know what's gonna happen. What's going on? Or something like that. That was that was the gist of it. But what was interesting about that is I finally now established where Danica gets it from. Because as you may remember last year at some race, Danica threw her little like. Evidently, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So that was the 91st running of the Indianapolis 500. But it was not the most exciting thing that happened on Memorial Day weekend, because the Miss Universe pageant was on. But whatever, we'll get to that one later. Henchtown.com is where all my crazy crap is, so check it out if you got the time.